for the first ever companion draft, we have some wonderful guests. From the Wormhole Extremists, we have Nicole and Yvie.
Hello.
Oh,
This is the first ever. This is the inaugural companion Slytherin snake draft. I didn't really brand it Slytherin, and I didn't clear that with Warner Brothers.
Don't come at us, Warner Brothers.
I was going to say.
They won't. They won't. I'm close to the fam. Are any of you Slytherin? Just out of curiosity, do you have an inherent advantage?
look,
I'm a Gryffindor.
I'm not a HP fan at all,
That's okay.
so I would have no clue. I'm sorry. All I know is that there's factions,
Yeah.
and I think there's like an online quiz that you can do to find out
That's
what you
how
would-
I
what
found
house
out.
you would fall into. But yeah, I don't.
It's
know.
not an
I'm
online
sorry.
quiz. It's a sorting hat, and then
Oh,
you
I'm
get placed
sorry.
into
I'm sorry, Lawrence. A sorting hat.
actually first be invited to go to the school. So yeah.
Oh, I'm offending so many people right now. I'm so sorry.
What is a snake draft, or my little Slytherin snake draft? So how this works is that we're going to allow our two lovely guests to go first. But there's two of them. So we'll have Nicole go first. Okay.
Oh, no. Okay.
She
Then
hates that.
that means you have like the best choice. You could choose anyone, or I guess anything. And then the second choice will go to Yvie. Third pick goes to Wells. And then I will have the last pick, to sacrifice for everyone. And then like a little snake, I go next, then back to Wells, then Yvie, and then Nicole, you'll get two more selections.
Oh, like
in the
Settlers of
draft.
Catan when you're figuring out who's going first and last. Lovely. Okay, cool.
Could be.
That's how my brain works.
like a snake like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Now for today's topic, we're going to draft the perfect Stargate SG-1 team. Okay. So essentially, if you're not a Stargate fan, it's the perfect team exploring new planets, galaxies, those kind of things. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to draft 5 characters that each have that have appeared in shows or films or games, but not Stargate. Okay. So we're choosing our Stargate team. In your team, amongst those 5, you do have to choose one kind of leader, father figure, like a General Hammond. Okay, if you're a Stargate fan, Is that all clear? So like a General Hammond, and then like 4 SG.
My
teams.
father figure is a daddy. Is that okay?
Don't give it away. And then the other thing is, if somebody chooses a character, that person is like eliminated. Okay, so we can't have like 2 Gandalfs going around. All right.
Okay.
Oh, don't you
any
worry.
rules?
Yeah, I think we're pretty safe.
Yvie, you mentioned you might do reality TV. Is like Pornhub just in general, like also reality TV, or is that like a platform? Just out of curiosity.
I think that's probably a personal choice.
Yeah.
you
Okay.
know. Everyone has their special skills.
They are performers.
They are performers. Absolutely.
See, Yvie, there's no
No,
limits
yeah,
in here,
camera.
apparently.
Here's the other thing too. You don't have to choose or make your selections in any specific order. Okay, so we don't have to like start with the Hammonds and then the Jack and Sam, etc. Like there's no order. So be strategic about it. Make sense?
Kind of.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're really
Okay.
worried about us picking the same thing. It's not going to happen. So,
But that's where the excitement comes from. It's why you had to prepare like
I feel-
multiple choices.
I hear you on the two of you. I'm a little worried about Lawrence and me
I think
personally.
you two are
I'm not
too
going to lie.
Crossovers.
No, there's no. I don't know.
You don't think
Yvie
so?
and I are different
But I think
people,
it's better
so
if you
with no
take.
risk.
I think it's better if we take each other's. It makes it
Oh
more
no, I
exciting.
would be very interested to
Because
know.
you would
if
just be
any
like
of them
crushed
are
in
gonna
your
be.
heart, like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh,
Yeah.
you chose.
I've got backups for all of them, so we'll see. But
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't come up
prepared.
with any backups.
I've got a list of backups
That's
written
okay.
next to me. So, Yvie, while I'm talking, maybe you just start panic writing yours. But I don't think I'll need them. So,
Okay,
Yeah.
first selection, the first ever draft pick,
Mhm.
the first ever pick of the companion draft. This is like the first pick of anything we've ever done. Nicole, you're on the clock.
Okay, I'm just gonna go balls to the wall here and just go straight in with I'm sorry, Don S. Davis, who's probably like rolling in his grave with what I'm about to say. I picked a father figure based on how daddy he was. And that is the Emperor from Baldur's Gate 3. Now I'm gonna explain him very quickly. He has a tentacle mouth, a 8-pack. He can fly, and he eats people's brains. He's a mind flayer, and that sounds bad. But my logic. Also, I did sleep with him in Baldur's Gate 3, no regrets. So he can invade people's minds. He can kind of do a little bit of psychological torture. He can seduce you. He can do whatever needs to be done, and he's really good at giving people orders because that's all he did to me in Baldur's Gate 3. So yeah, and just absolute daddy. And also, when you find out the lore of him, he was a leader prior to being the emperor, so he knows how to lead and be a leader. So
I think it's kind of a weird first pick because I don't think Wells and I would have gone near Baldur's Gate 3. You could have had this character in the last round, and I'm just guessing Yvie is also not on the board.
I'm not a gamer, so I wouldn't have gone anywhere near Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you for that selection. Yvie, you're next. Yes,
okay.
That's right.
So I guess I will go with who I would nominate to be like the leader, like the Jack O'Neill, so like the leader of the team. Now, I have been watching recently from start to finish. I think I'm a few episodes short. I've been rewatching Better Call Saul. So my pick would be Mike Ehrmantraut, because he is like my favorite character in both Better Call Saul and also Breaking Bad. But it's been a while since I've watched Breaking Bad, so I'll just be sort of referencing what I've seen in Better Call Saul. So he's strategic, obviously. He isn't misled by his emotions, except when it involves his family. He's resourceful and he's very reliable. He has many skills, including skills with weapons. He's not afraid to get his hands dirty, and he is good at keeping secrets. So
I think that's a pretty excellent choice.
I would say
I did not even think about that at all.
That made a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It almost like looks like a Jack O'Neill kind of character.
Well, he's a little bit older. He used to be a police officer as well, so he has probably worked with commanders, beneath him, I guess. So I think he's a pretty good choice. I'm pretty proud of that selection. Yeah.
I really respect that choice.
Wonderful. All right. I too am going to reveal my choice for the O'Neill character of the team, like the head of the SG team, but not the head of the SGC. So the head of my SG team is Aragorn of Arathorn. Because he is humble, he's wise, he's courageous, he's a great fighter, but most importantly, he truly cares for everybody that's in his charge. So he's not going to leave anybody behind. That's a very Jack O'Neill feeling thing to me. So he is my choice for my team leader, and the one that I was the most scared of someone else picking.
No worries there.
Solid selection. Solid.
I don't think we're gonna cross over very much. I'm up. So since two of you, so I get two choices, right? And since you both chose a team leader, I think I'm gonna be safe. I'm gonna save that for later. So I'm gonna go first with the scientist. Okay. I'm going with the scientist. Every good team needs a science character, a Sam Carter. It's not who you think I'm going to choose. I'm going to choose Dr. Emmett Brown from Back to the Future.
Oh, that is good.
When it's my turn, I'll say something about that.
I just
why?
I mean, he invented time travel, in a jam. If you're stuck on a foreign planet, you could be there. I mean, unending. If you had, if it was Doc Brown, you're good. You're good. I'm gonna go with the muscle to take another category. I'm encroaching on another category. A couple of funny joke ones in here, but But I think a good pairing with Doc Brown is going to be the mother of the savior of the end of the world, Sarah Connor.
That was my second choice.
That was my backup for Muscle.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Oh,
You
wow.
hit some backup
Okay.
people.
Oh, nice. Okay, so we're snaking back, right?
Yeah.
Well, you're up.
Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and throw my science pick out, just because it is so close to your science pick. My science officer on my team, I chose Rick from Rick and Morty.
Oh, that's a good one.
Mhm,
Yeah.
Who basically Doc Brown, I mean, the more lewd version of him. But he can make any
It's
device you
super
need.
toxic. Just super toxic. I didn't need that on my team. I didn't.
But he
need
can
that.
always think on his feet. He's got the experience jumping around from planet to planet. So, Rick from Rick and Morty.
Is there no fear that another version is gonna, like, from an alternate, quantum mirror, is gonna come and just try to kill you and like replace?
Yeah, but I also feel like in at some point, all of the SG team characters have their toxic alternates that show up. But like Rick's alternate would probably be less toxic. I don't know. Like, yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
My team is the toxic alternates, so
I think I will go with my muscle next. So I am a huge fan of cooking shows, and in particular Gordon Ramsay. So I just recently watched Next Level Chef, and I fell in love with Marta, one of the contestants. And Marta is very special because he actually has a background in professional wrestling, but he proved in the TV show that he had sort of an ability to think outside the box, which I think is important. He can cook a good meal. I figure he could probably zhuzh up the MREs with some like natural resources on the planets that they visit.
make them taste less
You
like
know, like
chicken.
herbs and vegetables and stuff, so that it tastes like, the chicken and the mac and cheese can be like easily distinguishable, right? And he also worked as Jason Momoa's stunt double.
I feel like you have like a combination of like muscle and also almost like the archaeologist ethnographer kind of person, where it's like picking out like, mushrooms and like, weird, poisonous.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's important to have a good crossover. So
Yeah.
I would be
and that opens up more,
Marta.
spots. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Nice.
Interesting.
So I'm gonna go out and bring out my I'm gonna use the term hot archaeologist. Now this is not an evil choice. This is the least evil choice, I think. And that is Giles from Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Because another daddy. This is just a list of mummies and daddies. I've got problems. So oh god, the companion app is going straight like down. Like sorry, guys.
Oh, I know. And what I know of your childhood, it's all falling into place.
I've just brought the quality down. So Giles, I've been watching a lot of Buffy lately, and Giles is just really adorable, but also really like he can kick some butt when he has to. He's great at the book stuff, he's always helping figure stuff out, and he's just a cutie patootie. He's like the Buffy Daniel Jackson. And so I'm going for Giles, and also he's English, so I appreciate that.
He's also great with the guitar,
Yes, and he can sing. He can bard it up
around the campfire.
Yeah.
Like imagine him in like the episode 1969. You're sitting around a campfire trying to figure out how to get back, and he's like, "Don't worry."
Okay, so this one, it might be a bit more controversial. So my muscle that I decided to pick. Has anybody seen Star Wars: The Acolyte, the new show that just came out?
I haven't watched it yet.
A little bit.
The Sith Lord showed up with his really ripped muscles, and he is the most gorgeous man I've ever seen, and that is Khmer. Who is my new favorite Sith Lord after Kylo Ren. He's not technically a Sith Lord, but that's debatable. He can use the Force. He is incredibly ripped. He has some great armor that can like deflect lightsabers, so it could deflect anything. You know, he is a beautiful man, and he's a kind of a trickster, because when you first meet him, he's all like cute and innocent, and then suddenly like his muscles come out and he'll destroy you. And he killed like 7 Jedi in the space of 2 minutes.
Nicole, you've gone very like fantasy.
I'm big on fantasy, yeah.
Yeah.
Could you
'Cause
not
I've
tell?
gone very earthbound.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here's what happened. Giles went out into the galaxy and found a bunch of aliens and was like, come back. And that's what's happened. So, yeah.
Okay, I think I might go with my like base commander. I guess I can do that, can't I? Okay, so this is another choice from one of my favorite reality TV shows, and Nicole kind of guessed it earlier. Below Deck. So I am totally in love with Captain Sandy because she is incredible. If you've ever watched Below Deck.
I've now watched some because of you and David. So,
oh, it's so good. Yeah, David and I love it. She's very calm under pressure. She can handle crises on the fly. She is good at dealing with people, and she knows how to lead a team successfully.
Wow, not on my board, surprisingly.
no,
I thought that would probably be a little bit out of field.
All right. I'm gonna go with my commander of the base, my Daddy Hammond, Hammy character, if you will. So my commander of the SGC is Ted Lasso.
that is an incredible choice.
Positivity. It's positivity. I love
So yeah, it's his positivity. He's amazing at pulling the best out of everybody that he's around. And in a way that they don't even realize what he's doing, but then he gets the results. He knows the strengths and the weaknesses of everybody and knows how to use those. And he relies, once he gets them where they're going, he relies on them and lets them do their thing, which I think is huge for a base commander. All right, Lawrence,
so
what you got?
I've got my 3rd and 4th picks, right? I'm strictly now thinking television show. Okay, what would make for really great TV? Okay. So my general figure at the base, in the beginning of every episode that gives the missions is Zoltar, the machine in Big.
Wow. Does it give the missions that way? Like it's
yeah, please.
Piece of paper. Oh, you got to get the quarter through his mouth.
His
first,
mission reports come out.
Awesome.
And you don't know why, and it sends you on this journey, of just the whole episode. You know.
It's just cryptic, whatever is.
Yeah, it's just like kind of like a little piece of paper that has like some weird rhyme on it. And you've got to try to figure out what the mission is based off that.
Chaos SGC you have. I'm obsessed with it. That is amazing.
Is it also capable of just like randomly popping up somewhere, and also is it capable of de-aging somebody?
The Zoltar machine?
Mm-hmm.
It's just a fortune teller machine.
Yeah, but it did de-age Tom Hanks.
It did age Tom Hanks.
Oh, you're talking about that. Yeah. I mean, it's like a magical machine that is going to do whatever it needs to help you have the most amount of growth through every single episode.
Okay. So it could end up doing all sorts of things.
It could. Yeah.
What a machine.
Okay.
So I want a team leader, a lot like, Richard Dean Anderson's Jack O'Neill, funny, creative, but always like kind of comes through in the end, in a pinch. So I'm going to go with Aang, the Last Airbender.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is a stellar choice. Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah, but explain it, please. I want to hear.
Well, Aang is a reluctant leader. Mm-hmm. It's thrust upon him. Mm-hmm. He has the whole weight of the world on his shoulders. And yet every 23-minute episode, he's able to throw in the jokes, as well as get the job done. And he always does the right thing. He always he does the right thing at the end of the day.
I'll go with my archaeologist, diplomacy, linguist person, that person. But so I went with Louise Banks from Arrival. the main character, the doctor from Arrival, who figures out the language and figures out basically everything with those aliens. So I thought she would be a really strong choice. She's also open-minded, where everybody around her was like, let's blow them up and blah blah blah, and she's like, no, hold on. She does have to figure out that tricky thing about now she can see at any points through time, but Daniel Jackson had to deal with some things too, so I think it would work. Yeah. So Louise Banks from Arrival.
Does she go on the mission if she knows the team will die? Do you kind of know what I mean? Like, would she how does she deal with those consequences?
I mean, she probably would, because of the way she philosophically, accepts that she can now see through time and space. Okay, maybe it was still a
Rick,
character.
I think you should just have an extra slice of pizza today. I'm not going to tell you why.
Yep. Just probably a good idea. Yeah.
So this person, I guess, would be kind of like the diplomat of the team. I guess kind of like a Daniel Jackson in a way, but not. So as Nicole knows, she too is also a huge fan of the show. I love Bridgerton. So I have chosen
Don't you dare!
From Bridgerton. I have chosen Lady Danbury.
No! That was one of mine!
Did it just happen?
Are you serious?
It happened.
You took Lady Danbury! How dare you? Oh my god.
In your face.
Bridgerton was the show that it happened with? This is amazing.
That is random. I know. That is really random, because Nicole and I only really share a handful of shows that we both enjoy, and Bridgerton is one of them. So I chose Lady Danbury because she has a good relationship with the head of state, aka the Queen. So I figure that she could probably, ask for some favors, get them some good equipment, that sort of stuff. She's very good at reading people. So that would make her, I think, a pretty good diplomat. She's always very calm. She is quite tactful and persuasive. And she stands up for those whom she believes in. And she is willing to extend a helping hand to those who need it. So that is my justification for Lady Danbury.
This is glorious. It finally happened.
I didn't have a backup for my Lady Danbury.
Because
she's amazing. So I'm gonna have to quickly panic think one while I tell you what my other person is. Oh my god, you wench! That's how I say it without swearing.
It's not the first time she's called me a wench.
No, it's not. Oh,
and it won't be the last.
I was about to say, it probably won't be the last.
Now I want to be like, oh, yeah, I'll pick Queen Charlotte, but that just feels extra, just it just doesn't feel as good as Lady Danbury. Okay, right. So I'm gonna go for my science person while I think in the background of who my leader's gonna be. So my science person is another video game, because I play a lot of games, and that is, if anybody knows her, actually you probably do if you've ever had a Windows device, Cortana, the AI from Halo, because we need some more feminine energy in this team of men. So throwing her in, and I did have Lady Danbury, but not anymore. And she is an AI that can just hack anything. And she's also kind of she can, hang out with Giles, and they can be besties, like Sam and Daniel, about, science and translations and stuff like that, because Cortana can translate most languages. She's incredibly smart, incredibly helpful. And in Halo, she has this thing where she can go into a microchip and go into the back of your head. So she's literally in your brain. So, no possible romance between her and the team leader, sadly, in that way, unless they want to get kinky in there. But I've got to make everything sexual. I'm so sorry. So yes, pick Cortana. And my team leader, I'm gonna go left field. So I'm gonna go Australian left field. Okay, Pa'u Zota Zan from Farscape, because she is a beautiful plant So she's all about that positive energy, that positive vibes. You know, like she could go into the episode fair game and do a really good job in the non-Jack way. You know, she's all wonderful and zen, and you know, she's Delvian. She's got alien other people to hang out with and get to know, and she has her other language and sources, and she can mind meld with you, which can be sexual or it can be educational. It really just depends.
Wow. You've got like 3 out of 4 team members who can read minds.
I really like it. I don't want to read minds myself, but I like that other people can do stuff. My team is very bad in a way because I've got some really good people and some really bad people, but they'll mellow each other out and become a kind of middle ground, like in Ripple Effect, the SG team that caused it all. You know, like they're doing it for a good reason, but they're pretty naughty about it. So, you know, that's the vibe.
Good reasoning.
Did you think about team chemistry when you were putting this together, or?
Yeah. My favorite thing about the chaos of this is I love putting people that don't like each other together, because then you have enemies to lovers, and then the sexual tension's just like through the roof. So none of these people are really friends. They're all bangable, you know. So
yeah, you're going for like a SGU kind of
100%
team situation. You know?
Yes.
Slam together, you know, in a situation.
I love it.
Highly charged.
What do you think half these
in the
books
early
are
episodes.
about? There is so much sex on these shelves, so you know.
Yeah. Well, this is your last important pick, Yvie, to round out your team.
Okay, yes. So I was actually going to choose somebody else, but then realized that I don't actually have anyone who's got like a science brain. So I figure I should probably choose someone who could do a Sam Carter type job. And I was thinking about the TV shows that I've enjoyed in the past and any science figures that I've really looked up to. And I kept on going back to this one person that would be Gil Grissom from CSI. I loved him in CSI. He was awesome. He was also a good leader as well. Very hardworking person and very scientifically minded, capable of thinking outside the box.
I'm feeling just pretty good about my choices now after hearing.
I had to do everything in my power to not pick Edward James Olmos for like most of the slots either, you know, because like specifically Battlestar.
Oh,
so
you do love.
He's my automatic guy, so I was like, no, not today. So,
yeah.
Save us, Wells.
Yeah, save us.
I keep flipping back and forth with my muscle. Like I keep doing it. There actually were 3 choices. Sarah Connor was one of them, and then there are 2 others. And
what were the 2 or others that you didn't choose, and what's your last choice?
That's the thing. So Sarah Connor was one that I can't choose because it was already mentioned. I think the other one that I will not choose because I'm still hung up on it. But is right there is Starbuck from Battlestar.
Do you know how close I was to picking her as my muscle?
Yeah. But then I was like, no, I think I'm going to go with this other one instead. I feel like Starbucks. We already got Rick on the team, who's going to be a lot of the attitude, and Starbuck. That might be a lot to handle in a team. Like you can
out
really
of the
only
box
deal
is where she lives
with one of those. So instead, I'm going with Zoe Washburn from Firefly. Zoe, who's loyal to her crew, an absolute badass and an expert at like literally everything she does, but great fighter, not afraid to put her life on the line. But she's got this calmness, this stoicism about her too, that feels very Teal'c-like to me. So like, I think she fits that role pretty well. That's it. That's my choice.
I really love that choice. She's one of my favorite characters.
It's a very good option.
All right, so the last pick, although it you know, we probably think of it as a Daniel Jackson archaeologist kind of category. Actually, in my category, I put wild card just to like allow myself to think a little bit more open and outside the box. And
I love Wildcards.
Yeah, so just thinking about if Zoltar is going to kick off the mission, you know, and tell us vaguely like what we should be doing, really sending Aang on the quest to save the world. but as a child, he doesn't really quite understand. Led by a mothering figure like Sarah Connor to protect him. Not that he needs it. Aang is pretty badass. And then you have another kind of father figure in like Doc Brown. I think a really good politically archaeological wild card to get you into the right kind of situations and to get you out of the right kind of situations is Forrest Gump.
Wow.
Just in a show, you're gonna find yours like, why are you with the president? Why are you with the emperor? And he's going to be able to bumble his way in and out of situations at any time.
I kind of like that because he's probably underestimated, which can be a positive. You know, you can use that to your advantage.
That's right.
That's a wild card choice. I really like that.
And you know what? He's also fast on his feet.
Yeah, he is.
He can run.
Yeah.
With or without the instruction.
Yeah.
You can teach the locals like ping pong as well. That's a fun game.
Yeah, yes, his bonding experience.
Yeah. This is actually a really good choice.
Yeah.
I like that.
Did anybody have any honorable mentions that are like?
I definitely had a few like things that I almost picked. So I almost picked, this is another completely far out one, but you know, my wife from Starfield, Andreja, because she comes from a very religious background, and so I thought that was like a good kind of she's very respectful, understanding of religion, and like wants to like learn things and go out, and she's like almost on a pilgrimage for the universe, and she can go invisible if she needs to.
I originally started out with my commander of SGC being vastly different from Ted Lasso, which was Christian Avasarala from The Expanse, which like strategic wise and everything, I think is a great choice, but it's a much darker choice, obviously, than Ted Lasso. But
yeah, my actual first character that I chose overall, and I didn't go with it because as the draft unfolded, I didn't think it would fit my team. But the first character I wrote down was the General Hammond style character, Optimus Prime.
Oh yeah,
Prime.
Yes. He's chosen Optimus Prime before, so this is not a surprise to me.
I'm not gonna lie, this is
love it.
Wow, what a choice.
I just think because Optimus Prime is really wise, and in a pinch, like General Hammond almost never went into the field, but like when he did, you know, he saves the day, kind of thing.
And in a pinch, Optimus Prime can convert himself into a vehicle of some kind and get everyone out.
Yeah,
exactly. And he's got a giant like laser gun. Okay, well, thank you so much for participating in the first ever draft. I hope that was fun.
Thank you, Lawrence.
That was very fun.